Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another stream. Sunday night. I'm tired already. We've only just started. An interesting week. A green arrow. 2 green arrows in a row. I don't know what's happened, but today's green arrow was pretty small. No MAHREZ, no AGUERO for me. Absolutely outstanding picks for anyone that brought him in. Even seen a few captains on MAHREZ and AGUERO. So very nicely done. But how are we all? How have we done today? MAHREZ is a season keeper. MAHREZ is, let me get up on the other screen. He is 4 points behind Sterling, but has played 600 minutes less. Does that mean MAHREZ has been great this season, or has Sterling been poor? Probably Sterling poor. So I think now a lot of people looking to bring AGUERO in. There's now talk of getting rid of Vardy. He blanked no shots. I think there's no shots in the box against Southampton. There's knee-jerking going on. Our Man City attack is now the way forward. Obviously, De Bruyne did well again, 9 points. Come off like 62 minutes, which was frustrating. But obviously a lot to process this week. And only 2 weeks away from the double, which we've been talking... I mean, it's game week 24, the double. We've been talking about it since game week 1, it feels like. So it'd be nice to get that triple captain. And I've still not decided whether I'm going double attack or double defence yet. But we basically need to find the next MAHREZ and AGUERO. That is the key for this week. I've been looking at short-term punts. I don't see many good ones. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Before we jump into that, let me bring up this. Sponsors of the stream, OneFootball. I'm sure most of you have checked it out by now. You should have. If you haven't, there's a link in the description below. It works on Android, iOS devices. Or you can just search OneFootball in the store. And like I said, it's got lineup news, football news, team news, live scores, all that good stuff you need as an FPL manager. So check it out. It's completely free. Link in the description below. You can see it on screen right now how it all works. Or just search OneFootball in the Android, iOS stores and off you go. Have it ready for the next game week. Okay, this is my team. So I captain De Bruyne instead of Vardy. I want something a bit different. Obviously, Villa have been conceding a lot of shots, and a lot of shots in the box. I've glossed over the transfer I did. I got in Fabianski. Don't really want to talk about it, to be honest. I was looking at Henderson. I literally tweeted to say it's between Henderson, McCarthy, Ryan. And then I was like, it's double game week coming though, Fabianski. And then I got Fabianski, and then he went off in 30 minutes. I mean, how do you even deal, like, not deal with that? How do you even, foresee that? Like, someone tweeted me straight away and said, I told you to go Ryan, as if I knew that injury was going to come. Fair enough, a lot of people did tweet me to say, look, he wasn't going to get any points anyway. Fair enough, maybe he wasn't, but how could I know he's going to get injured? So, that's now something to deal with. I'm going to have to wait and see what the injury is, how long he's out for. It does seem like it's a repeat injury of what he had before, so I'm not really that confident. Not really that confident about whether he's going to come back this week. If he's back for the double game week, then I may just get McCarthy in for Button, play him this week, and then keep Fabianski for the double, and then rotate them as and well needed. He was a differential. Like, I think Sheffield United away, they only scored 1 goal. Would they have scored that if Fabianski was on the pitch? Maybe not. Who knows? And it's Everton at home, double game week, and Brighton at home. So I think the short-term fixtures were pretty good. But the injuries kind of put the kibosh on that. And it's a bit annoying because I'd planned this week as Rashford out for whoever to fund my Liverpool player. And now I've got to sort out the goalkeeper, so I'm kind of another transfer behind. So I may even take a hit this week. A lot of people talking about keeping Rashford now. I still don't know if I'm going to do that. But yeah, like the stream. Vote on the polls. We've got four polls? 5 polls. Is it worth taking Vardy out? I know most people are still thinking he's essential. They're going to keep him forever. But there has been talk this week, definitely, the people taking him out. Is it time for AGUERO? Obviously, hat-trick plus an assist. Pretty decent. Have you decided on double Liverpool attack versus defence yet? Madison, there was a question about that. And is Vardy to AGUERO a good transfer? It's kind of similar to the other polls, but specific transfer basically. You didn't get the fuss about Fabianski. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, taking a short-term punt on a goalkeeper probably wasn't, the best idea. But yeah. Leicester regression is in full swing. The save percentage of Schmeichel is now returned to historical norm. Might be time to think about Soyuncu being a template in our teams. Yeah, I mean, it's getting to the point where I've almost considered wildcard, and I think there's that many players I don't necessarily want. But I don't know who I'm bringing in. It's all well and good saying take Soyuncu out. Look, Cedarby, Lucas Digne could be options potentially. Everton, double Sheffield United defence in a few game weeks potentially. But it's Burnley away and West Ham at home for Leicester. I feel like I can keep for those two. And if I go double Liverpool defence anyway, then I'm going to play those two every week, plus one, and in 3 game weeks' time, that one is going to be Lundstram anyway. So I don't necessarily need Soyuncu every single week. But I get the point. Obviously, Ings on his own got 9 shots in the box against Leicester, which is pretty damn impressive. And obviously with Ndidi out as well, that's not helping them. Donovan, welcome, new member. Still haven't up. Do you know, I'm not even going to update that image of the old logo. I'm just going to keep it forever. But welcome. Thanks for signing up as a member. You get a nice little green name now in the chat. It's 6 in a row for Liverpool. Yeah, 6 in a row. Will they keep it up? They absolutely could. I don't know if my team is too good for a wild card. But I'm not sure who I'm bringing in. So, Traore, rubbish. Maddison could go soon. Rashford, undecided. I mean, if I'm looking at my team, who I'm keeping Vardy for the next 2 weeks. I think Burnley away, West Ham. Burnley, I'll get 2 clean sheets in 9. And to be fair, we were kind of bigging up Southampton defence before the Leicester game. So, no shots in the box is pretty poor for Vardy, I get it. But Southampton have been, for the last 6 matches before this game week, Southampton had the second best, expected goals conceded to Liverpool. So goalkeeper change. Soyuncu, Rico, Kelly could be swapped. I don't have that much money to play around with, so I couldn't really swap them to anyone. Interesting, maybe Brandon Williams, but we don't even know if he's going to keep his place. Ings stays, Mane stays, De Bruyne stays for now. Traore would go. I'd make a few changes, but I'm not sure there's enough. And I think I'm going to do it. I saw some people wildcard for Man City players this week. Saw people make moves for Man City players. Fair play. Yeah, Aston Villa away, Crystal Palace at home. But I don't know, Crystal Palace at home, then a set of dodgy fixtures. I'm just not sure that's the same time or the same. It would work out the same to bring in Man City players now. You're not breaking 400k but holding steady. Yeah, I mean, I've gone up not even nearly 100k, 80k in the last 2 weeks. But it's too slow. When I look at differential players I could bring in this week, I'm more paid, but he's got Aston. I mean, he's basically plays in the next 2 weeks. The 2 teams that conceded the most shots in the box over the last few weeks, Aston Villa and then Bournemouth. So potentially that could help him, but he's not shooting that much. So will the defence, how bad the defences of Villa and Bournemouth are, help more pay, or is he just not shooting enough and he's not going to cause them enough problems? I'm just not sure he's the one. I wish he was in a bit better form with these 2 fixtures coming up. So he's one. There's Son. He's back. Obviously no Kane. He's definitely going to play whether it's up front or on the left. I think he's 6-point-something% owned. Let me see exactly. Spurs. So Son is 6.6, but it's Watford away. Who knows if that's a good fixture? It's not really. They're doing pretty well defensively. Then Norwich at home, decent enough, same as when we kept Rashford. So I think he'd be good for game week 24. Then it's Man City, and then Villa. So fixtures are kind of mixed for Son, but he's 6.6%. If I get Son in, it either stops me getting Salah, or I have to get rid of De Bruyne to get Salah. So I've looked at something like Rashford to Morpay, De Bruyne and Maddison to Son and Salah. But I could just go double defence as well. Oh, you got 90. I remember you saying last time, David, your kid activated your free hit. You got 90 points. Damn. You have to buy that kid some sweets. Any Watford players I'm looking at? I guess Foster in goal, though I still prefer probably Ryan Henderson in a few weeks. McCarthy for now, but Foster has been performing pretty well since Pearson came in. And Sarr keeps delivering. Much better than Traore. I mean, Traore was a bit unlucky maybe. Jimenez off the line would have been his assist. Getting rid of De Bruyne is utter madness. The thing is, right, De Bruyne is going to have a blank in game week 28. Pretty much. I mean, Man United are not going to come back. Okay, so you can pretty much say that Man City are going to have a blank in game week 28. So their fixtures are Sheffield. I know Man City are brilliant. Sheffield United away, Spurs away. Bear in mind, Spurs just kept Liverpool down to a pretty low score. West Ham at home, good fixture. Leicester away, okay, potentially that's a good fixture now with Ndidi out. Then it's a blank, then it's Man United away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the next 6 games, it's like 4 away fixtures, of which they're all pretty tough. West Ham at home and a blank. So, and Leicester might blank in game week 28 as well. So something's going to have to give. You'd assume it'll be Leicester blanking. And then who do they play in game week 28 actually? Oh, so Arsenal. So Arsenal players will blank too. And Leicester play, where is it? Norwich. Okay, we're probably not too bothered about that. Firmino, double game week shout. The thing that puts me off Firmino is it's not like a 1 week punt. Like if we were free hitting or something in game week 24 for Liverpool, like Firmino, you can't ignore the amount of goals he scored away from home. I still don't really know how much to kind of buy into that. The fact that all his goals come away from home. Is that just a fluke or not? I don't know. Maybe he's playing differently away from home. But maybe it's a thing. So I can see why people are going for him. Because, you know, in a single game week, he could haul just like anyone else. But then it's not like you then suddenly want to get rid of those Liverpool players. You want them for the next 4 or 5 game weeks at least afterwards. And I don't want my third one to be Firmino. So that's why I don't want him. If it was just for the double game week, I would consider him. So I could just do Rashford to Firmino. I'd have my third Liverpool player. I'd have rid of Rashford. And it's an easy move to make. And I've still got 2.1 million in the bank to do whatever else I want to do. But I just, after that, do I want to keep him? Don't think so. So fixtures afterwards, like Southampton at home, Norwich away, West Ham at home, Watford away, Bournemouth at home. Like they're 5 pretty solid fixtures. I don't think I'd want Firmino for that, which is what puts me off him really. So I'm not saying he's a bad decision for the double game week, but you're going to want those 3 Liverpool players for the remaining fixtures as well. And is the one you want Firmino? That's what you got to ask yourself. Looks like a lot of people are sweating on Fabianski. I mean, they're not really. He's not really owned by that. He's 2.8% owned. He was only bought in by like 50,000 odd people this week. So I'm sweating on him. That's about it. And if Moyes doesn't give us anything concrete, I'm probably going to do Fabianski to McCarthy. Maybe Ryan. How can you sell Rashford? Well, that's the key. The thing is, if I don't sell Rashford, I don't have an easy way to get my third Liverpool player. I've got 2.1 million in the bank. So I could do Rico, who's just been dropped, to Van Dijk. But again, I want Robertson, like really. So where do I get that money from? I'm not selling Ings. I'm not selling De Bruyne just yet. If I sell De Bruyne, I'll probably just get Salah instead. It's actually easier for me to do De Bruyne to Salah than to get Robertson. Even if I get... let me just check. But I think even if I get McCarthy in, don't think I can afford Rico. Yeah, 6.7 million in the bank. So I'd have to find 0.3 million from somewhere. And Robertson will probably go up in price at some point as well. So I don't really know where I'm getting that money from, unless I sell Maddison, but I kind of want to be up in Maddison, not going down. So De Bruyne is a son, for example, that would get me the money. Maddison start. I don't want to be stuck with Traore for much longer, though, to be completely honest. So that's another thing I'm thinking about. Thoughts on next game week captaincy? Yeah, let me pull my team up on screen for next week. Here we go. As it stands, I mean, Rico is now just a load of rubbish. You can't get rid of De Bruyne. I know. I'll be honest. Like I'm finding it tough right now because I'm not really going anywhere in the ranks. I've said this before. I need a differential. I just don't know where it is. Like Son could go back there again for the 3rd time this season. I know what everyone's saying about De Bruyne. I know. I get it. If he hauls, it hurts. But I may have to just take some kind of risk at some point. Yeah, maybe Lucas Moura in for Maddison. That could work. I don't know. I keep telling myself about the fixtures, but at some point they're just gonna have to give, and I'm just gonna have to go for it. I mean, you'd expect Moura and Son to play most games now together. So, Watford away, Norwich at home, and Aston Villa away in the next 4. It's only that Man City game that's a bit of a worry. Maybe double Spurs midfielders, but how much do I trust Mourinho? Like last week I was saying they looked a bit dodgy, cracks starting to show, and then they have a good performance against Liverpool. Should have scored. Didn't. But will they take that into Watford away and Norwich at home? Will it be a bit like Man United, who seem to be able to proper get themselves up for big games? And sure, they did alright against Norwich, but it doesn't always work out like that. If you drop Rashford, just get Martial in for Maddison. Yeah, that could be done. Oxlade-Chamberlain worth a try for the double. I think anyone outside of Trent, Robertson, Mane and Salah, you've got to ask yourself, are you happy to keep them longer term? Because you are going to want that 3rd Liverpool player for the next 4 or 5 great fixtures afterwards. I can do Maddison in for Salah, by the way, and keep De Bruyne. That involves Rashford to more pay. So I could do that potentially. The only thing I'm thinking about, one of the reasons I'm thinking about double defence now is I can still only captain one of Mane Salah. That doesn't necessarily mean you shouldn't bring them both in. But defensive wise, like people have been saying, Soyuncu potentially no good anymore, or at least not unless it's a really easy fixture. Kelly and Rico. I mean, Kelly might lose his place. Rico's just lost his place. So my defence is starting to look a bit bare. And I'm playing Lundstrom this week, and I probably wouldn't do that normally. So it's another reason I'm thinking about just getting Robertson in. Mane and Salah's long-term suck up a lot of the budget. Yeah, for sure. But a lot of people will have both. Yeah, Holgate's not a bad shout. Similar price, of course. I'm definitely not doing Rashford to Abraham. The fixtures are awful. Van Dijk is half the price for 2/3 of the points. Yeah, Van Dijk's a bit easier. Watch Late Rose's video on took out Rashford out for a hit and bought an Aguero to captain. Oh, nice. Shame we didn't do it for someone else though. Having Rashford and Aguero, that would have been amazing. Brandon Williams is a potential option. I mean, the thing I like about him, he's very attacking compared to Shaw. Like I said on Twitter, he had that shot which he absolutely skied over the bar from like 4 yards out. But at least he was in that position. Shaw wouldn't have been. For sure. So I do like him, but the thing with him is I wouldn't be confident unless you needed like the money to just have a bench for him. If he doesn't play, you're not bothered. I just wouldn't be that confident he'll start going forward. If he plays against Liverpool, then I would be pretty confident. Like this is one of those situations where I fully agree. Like I think most Man United fans would want to see Brandon Williams starting, but it doesn't always work like that. We've seen that with other players before. Look at Hudson-Odoi at Chelsea. Last year, it's all Chelsea fans talked about. When's he going to get a chance? When's he going to get a chance? This year, he's still not playing that often. Now, he might get a chance now, But it doesn't always, what the fans want doesn't always translate into what the manager wants to do. Tammy's fixtures aren't that bad. I think they are pretty bad. Bearing in mind, you're talking about bringing in a striker that they've got Ings, Vardy, Rashford, and he's got Newcastle away. Okay, that could be okay. Again, like maybe the fixtures are turning. Like maybe Arsenal and Leicester are good fixtures. Maybe Man United is a good fixture. I don't agree, but after Newcastle, he plays Arsenal, Leicester, Man United, Spurs. I mean, I'm not bringing Abraham in, especially for Rashford. Like Rashford's been pretty decent, to be honest. What do you think about Firmino's underlying stats? Basically as good as Mane's. Mane's expected goals per night is 0.57. Firmino's 0.51. Yeah, like I said, I don't think Firmino's a bad option. I just prefer Mane. The thing is, like underlying stats are great, and I do like them, and I do use them, but I don't know. Mane's got a lot more points for a reason over the season. And again, in a single game week, of course, anything can happen. Joe Gomez could suddenly start going up for corners and smashing a goal in each game. But over the long term, and you've got to think ahead past game week 24, Firmino's not really the one I want. Let's go to Liverpool. So Firmino's on 100 points. Mane's on 143. So he's not that far behind, but you are paying less money, of course. I don't know. I'm never going to captain Firmino. Not that I necessarily need to if I've got Mane. I don't know. Maybe I'm not giving him enough credit, Firmino, but I don't know. He just doesn't. I just don't want him. I just do not want him. Assuming the Inter move doesn't look likely for Young, he'll start versus Liverpool rather than Williams. Not necessarily. I get it, experience and stuff, but Williams has done well. I don't think we've. Am I right in saying I don't think we've lost while he's played? Probably still needs a bit more experience in terms of when to kind of go in for a tackle and when not to, etc. But so clean sheet against Norwich, 1 against Burnley, drew against Villa, drew against Sheffield United, 1 against Brighton. So yeah, not lost, although not necessarily kept loads of clean sheets. Yeah. Can't wait until 24. I mean, I got bad news for you about double game weeks. What will happen once game week 24 is done is it'll just be loads of questions about blanks and doubles. This always happens at this time of the season. That's why it would be good to get chips in the first half of the season, make it a bit more interesting. It'd be good to know what people in the chat, by the way. Let's talk about Aguero for a sec. Right, let's stop talking about Liverpool for a minute. I'll try and do it for at least 80 seconds, not talk about Liverpool. What do you think about Aguero? For me, it does feel a bit like chasing points. It's not really a term that I use that often, because often chasing points means basically bringing in a player who's just hit a bit of form. And I think we know how good Aguero is, but he's 11.8 million still. So he's not that easy to bring in. Could be a great captaincy option against Crystal Palace, though, again. So could Sterling, potentially. It's a lot of money, bit of rearranging. Would even play every week. I don't know. MAHREZ a better pick. Yeah, MAHREZ has been great, to be honest. Gone under the radar for a lot of us. I think if I go someone different, it's going to be Son. Chip strategy. I'm not really worrying too much about my chips just yet. Triple captain in Game Week 24. I'm just doing it. Free hit probably in the blank game week, but the wild card, I don't know yet. Let's see how stuff starts falling. I want to see what position I'm in after Game Week 24. This week, I'm gonna. I don't know. I don't know about Vardy captain this week. Burnley just not keeping many clean sheets. No shots in the box against Southampton. The good thing is, for people that want to captain Vardy this week is people will be put off by him blanking last week. So his amount of people that captain will come down. And one of the reasons I went De Bruyne last week, or this week, just gone, is because I knew he'd be less captain than Vardy, although it wasn't that much less, but it was. Donovan, yeah, you basically get your name highlighted. The only way the whole message gets highlighted is through the super chat at the bottom. For the member, it's your name that gets highlighted in green. Set De Bruyne all over City rotation risk. I mean, there is obviously the possibility that De Bruyne does miss out, but 62 minutes off, that's his minutes being managed, isn't it? Is Sterling guaranteed to return to the start 11 against Palace? I mean, I would put money that he comes straight back into the team, no problems at all. MAHREZ for Richarlison. I don't know if... I mean, I get that MAHREZ is very tempting, but I don't know if now is the time to lose Richarlison, personally. Thoughts on triple Sheffield United defence? Could be good, but not for the next 2 weeks, in my opinion. I think it's Arsenal away, Man City at home. Every chance they concede in those 2 games, I think. I'm playing Lunchroom this week. I don't know how confident I am in a clean sheet. I did see one... I really should write down names of accounts. So I feel bad talking about their tweets without remembering who it was. It was a bad performance. I didn't see the game, but it was a bad performance for Lundstrom, and that's not the first time. And that they did kind of mention maybe he could get dropped. We'll see though. Bench last 2 game weeks plus FA Cup. Only started 1 of the last 4. He's going to come back in though, surely. Maybe I'm wrong, but. Yeah, I think he's coming back in. Can Southampton defence be trusted? I mean, defensively they're doing very well. Whether they'll keep any clean sheets, we don't know. Worth mentioning that Man United, for the start of the season, had very good defensive stats in terms of the amounts of... Oh, it was at FPL Blade. There you go. If you want to go and follow Mr. Sheffield United. Man United had good defensive underlying stats in terms of... shots conceded in the box, expected goals conceded and stuff like that. And they weren't getting clean sheets. So the same thing could happen for Southampton. Don't spam the chat. Am I afraid of people copying my team? No. If they want a bad rank, they can copy my team. Alright. We don't need to spam. Which West Ham keeper do we think will replace Fabianski? I mean, Randolph, surely, once he's fit. You got Starling. Would you move to Mane this game week or wait? I think I'd wait. I think I would wait. Give him Crystal Palace at home. Unless you really don't think... Unless you think there's a genuine chance that he doesn't start again. Surely he does. So I don't know. Sterling... I mean, look, Sterling's not been... explosive or that good. It's good, to be fair, FPL wise, for a while. But Sterling versus Crystal Palace at home versus Man United, Mane versus Man United at home. I don't know. Like if Liverpool get an early goal against United, then floodgates open potentially. But with Man United's the only team to take points off Liverpool so far this season. They did very well in the reverse fixture. But when Liverpool finally started playing in that game, I mean, in like 10 minutes, in a 10-minute period, they could have scored a few times, basically. Randolph, don't know if he's been priced up yet. Must have, surely. No, he's not been priced up. I mean, assuming he comes in at 4.5 when he finally is priced up. Surprisingly, he's been confirmed, right? He's a West Ham player, I think. 2 transfer for the double game week feels like an advantage potentially, although I guess you kind of probably know the 2 or 3 players that you want for sure already. I mean, you know me, I'm not in a rush to get Liverpool players against Man United, but there we go. Opinions on Son or Mora for 24. I mean, I always prefer Son. More money though. I think while Kane is out, Moore is a pretty decent option, to be fair. Pepe Reina will help out the Villa defence. He's going to have to save a lot of shots. Let's just say that. I don't know how many they conceded today, but they do usually concede a lot. You could afford Trent or Gomez in without getting rid of Rashford. I could get Van Dijk. Maybe Van Dijk is the key. Van Dijk and Trent and Mane. I don't know. I am... Given how good Rashford's been for me, and like I said, I think I said this week or last week, because he's on penalties, he just needs to get a penalty, and then bam, suddenly he's onto a big score without really having to do much. That's exactly what happened against Norwich. So obviously Liverpool away, not expecting any points this week from Rashford. But then Burnley at home, even Wolves at home doesn't seem that bad now. Chelsea away, Watford at home, Everton away, Man City, Spurs. I mean, the fixtures, if I'm saying I'm a fixtures man, the fixtures are not great for Rashford. Let's be fair. But he's done well in big fixtures. 13 points against Spurs, 9 points against Man City, 9 points against Liverpool, 9 points against Leicester, 13 points against Chelsea. So he's done alright. He's not the best penalty taker. I think he's alright, Rashford, at penalties, to be honest. So I am kind of wanting to keep him a bit more now. But it's tricky. And what would let me do it is McCarthy in for Fabianski, Rico to Robertson, De Bruyne to Son. I know, don't get rid of De Bruyne. I won't get rid of De Bruyne, I'm sure. But you never know. Or actually, let me check his price. How much is Lucas Moura? 7, is he? He is 7.1. Madison to Lucas Moura would do it too. Maybe that's the way to do it. Keep De Bruyne. So I keep Rashford as well. But really I want Son, not Moura. Watch one of your videos where you recommended Aguero as a differential captain. I did, yeah. If you were brave enough to bring him in, which some people were. Fair play. Why get on the Spurs train? I'm trying to find something different, to be honest. And they got Norwich. They got Norwich and Villa in 2 out of 3 fixtures after this week. Do I think Lundstrom will get any returns against Arsenal? Potentially. I'm not that confident in it, but I'm more confident than Rico, who probably won't play, and Kelly, who plays Man City away. Yeah, Everton train looks good. Like the defensive options there. Holgate, Sidibe, Digne. Check the Watford defensive numbers since Pearce has arrived. Yeah, definitely better. That's why I'm not too sure about getting a Spurs player in this week. I don't know if Watford away is that good. They're not like the best team since he's come in, but they're doing much better than before, for sure. Like, no doubts about that. I don't need to check. Should you get rid of Jimenez? I love this. Like Vardy, should we get rid of Vardy? Should we get rid of Jimenez? These are all season keepers a few game weeks ago. Like, muted too long. Wolves fixtures do go downhill a little bit for the next few fixtures, but I don't know. Jimenez did have a shot cleared off the line. You know, he scores that, you probably wouldn't even be talking about this. Liverpool, United, Leicester, Spurs in the next 4 out of 5 after Southampton. I don't know. Who you getting rid of Jimenez for? If it's for Ings, fair enough. Danny Ings is the best forward in the game right now. I'm telling you. Yeah, Brighton defence could be decent. Like Ryan decent goalkeeper option. They definitely have the fixtures. Cheers, Physio. You didn't have to do that. Much appreciated. Nobody's a season keeper. Yeah, exactly. You wait till De Bruyne gets a few blanks. Just you wait. A few blank fixtures, that is, not a few blanks in his score. I mean, anyone who's thinking of forward transfers who doesn't own Ings, that seems to me like the most obvious transfer you'll make all season, even bringing him in against Wolves. Mahrez or Madison. I mean, who am I to back against Mahrez this week? Could be benched, of course, but could play and absolutely smash it again. I mean, Madison's really got 2 fixtures for me, and then definitely on the chopping block. Jimenez, Firmino. I've spoken a lot about Firmino. I think it's fine for the double. I'm not sure you want him much after that. Wilson might be worth consideration if Bournemouth are to stay out. They need to win the next few games. Nah. I think Wilson is just... We've spoken about Wilson a few times. Like, still didn't score today. I think it's a massive reach to think that they're going to just turn it around suddenly. You're right. If they turn it around, if they start getting some wins, Wilson probably will be involved. But it's a massive punt on a player completely out of form and a team massively out of form. Just not sure that's the way to go right now. You could be a good differential, yeah. I'm not sure how they're all going to fit together when Tozen's playing more regularly, but you can play on the wing, of course. Or like as an inside forward or something. Yeah, Troy Deeney's not a bad shout. But I think someone just mentioned Watford, like next few fixtures, a bit of a test. They do get a bit more difficult now. But they're not awful for kind of the next 4. Villa away next week, Everton at home, Brighton away, Spurs this week. Even that's not that bad a fixture. And they're playing so well at the moment, it could be the right time to bring them in. They do get quite a bit tougher after that, though. You're going to the Sun for the 3rd time. I know. We keep going back to him. Should have scored against Liverpool. I can't remember who had the chance where Aurier crossed, like one of the most perfect crosses you'll probably see all season. Swung it right around the defence, back post, but someone missed it. Was that Mora? Do I think there'll be lots of rotation between the next 2 game weeks? Potentially, but it's not like Christmas time, so I don't think it'll be too bad. Norwich defence is the leakiest in the league, then it's 2 games versus relegation rivals for Wilson. I'm not saying it's a bad shout. Like, I've spoken about him a few times in the last few weeks. Now you know yourself, it's a massive punt. The guy has not scored since game week 7, and he's barely missed a minute since then. Like, he doesn't get much more out of form than that. You're right, they absolutely have the fixtures to turn it around, but at least in the next 3. But then they're pretty bad again. I don't know. I could be tempted by a massive punt, but that's all it is, I think. You're right, though. They've got it's one of those cases where all the fixtures bring out the points. But he has been awful. And let me see. Hang on, let me just check something a sec. FPL Trophy, happy birthday. Top 500, very nice. So last 4 matches, right? Let me find Callum Wilson. So in the last 4 matches, which obviously have been harder probably than the ones that are coming up. Arsenal, Brighton, West Ham, Watford. So not awful. 4 shots in 4 game weeks. 4. 3 chances created. He's only had 5 shots in the last 4 weeks. 5 shots total, 4 shots in the box. That's rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. Let me see. He had 2 of those shots against Watford. So he only had 2 in the other 3 game weeks. Yeah, it's Callum Wilson. I think massive punt could work out next 3. I don't know. They're just so out of form. Like, Aki came back. Thought that might be good for him. Concede 3 to Watford. At home. Not good. Thoughts from Richarlison and Sidibe? I mean, what do you want to know? I think they're both good options. Good price. Fairly good fixtures for the next couple of weeks. If you're looking at bringing them in, there's definitely worse options out there. He's looking for that differential that others will overlook to help rise up the ranks. Yeah, you're right, but like, is it a differential for differential's sake? Like, who are you getting? Like, if you look at my front line, which one of those 3 should go for Wilson, who hasn't scored since game week 7? Have you figured out how you're going to get 3 Liverpool players in for the double game week? You've been planning 4 weeks ahead. I mean, I've kind of planned ahead by getting Traore in. I got 2.1 million in the bank. I still don't know which one I want though. I'm kind of almost hoping that next week will give me a... Like, if I just do Fabianski to McCarthy this week, then maybe next week will give me a bit more inspiration to which one to go for, but not 100% yet. Suraj, thanks very much. Getting Martial or Traore out. I think Martial doesn't look great this week, but the next 2 are okay. So I think Traore is probably a slightly bigger one to get rid of. Who would recommend out of Sarr or Richarlison? I mean, I love Son as a differential who's got massive explosive opportunity. Sarr seems to be ticking over, but Watford's fixtures are getting a bit tougher. Richarlison's are good in the short term. I think Son would be good. Wildcard team, there's not much point in me talking about it because I've not looked into it. So it would just be kind of rambling off the top of my head, which is kind of what I'm doing anyway. But for a whole wildcard team, I mean, who would I have? Triple Liverpool, whichever 3 you want. Ings for sure. But maybe think about getting an extra Man City attacker with a plan to potentially get rid soon. Lundstram, of course. I'd maybe go for 2 rotating goalkeepers at this point if I was wildcarding. I think I would actually, because you're going to want a bench boost at some point if you haven't already. So I think I'd want 2 playing goalkeepers, whoever they may be. Kind of off the top of my head, wildcard thoughts. 4.3 for Jack Stevens, nice. Been a bit of a legend in maybe 1 or 2 game weeks in years gone past. Nah, not wildcarding. Not wildcarding. Don't think there's enough I want to change just yet. Let's see after the double though. It's a shame I don't already know if I want to wildcard after the double because I could I don't know, could get double Liverpool attack then change it to defence after. I mean, Villa absolutely whipping boys. Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't quite know what has happened at Brighton, whether they've changed tactic or something. But earlier in the season, Morpay was getting a lot of shot, like his shot volume was quite high. So I bought him in, he scored 1 goal in over 2 games when he got 9 points. It's really gone down now. It's really gone down. Not sure why. It's a problem. He already seemed to need a lot of shots to get his points or to get his goals. Now he's not having too many shots. Is that going to affect his scoring ability? Probably. Villa and Bournemouth will help that, I think, but yeah. All this hope for the double game week, it'll be Wolves 1, Liverpool 1. Could be, yeah. You never know. If Van Dijk means no Rashford or De Bruyne, almost the same total in points per game as Robertson. You're right, yeah. Like Van Dijk's not a bad option. You know, he comes up for corners, gets those goals. He's only 6 points behind Robertson. I mean, to be fair, he's only 20 points behind Trent Alexander-Arnold. But in terms of points per match, Trent's way ahead, I think. Yeah, 5.6. 5 for Robertson, 4.7 for Van Dijk. So it's not awful. Oh, Haller for sure. Whichever West Ham keeper ends up playing, probably get double digit or easy. How am I going to propel the rank if you're captaining De Bruyne? Yeah, but you say that, but who should I captain last week? I mean, I could have gone for Rashford. 3 points difference. And that wouldn't have propelled me up the rankings. I mean, really, it was Aguero or nothing, wasn't it? But didn't have an easy route in. I'm not sure on De Bruyne captain this week. I may switch to Ings, but I don't never expect Wolves to concede too many goals. You've had Ings in for about 6 weeks. Should you swap him Vardy? Like, why would you get rid of Ings? I guess is the question. What good reason is there to get rid of him? How long's Fabianski out for? We don't know. We don't know. Not really been any news. Right, I'm going to do the polls in a couple of minutes. So if you haven't already voted, make sure you do. I'll get them done. Liverpool captain this week, United not great at the back. Yeah, I do know. I'm not even going to get into this argument because I don't think Liverpool is a good captaincy option this week. But I know everyone will think otherwise. Like whatever you think about Man United, they don't concede that many goals, and they haven't all season. I think they've only conceded more than twice all season. So could Liverpool smash that? Potentially, but they didn't last time. This is at Anfield though, of course. Bit of a different story to playing at Old Trafford. It's Liverpool, yes, I know. It was 1-1 last time. This is exactly the same conversation we had last time. I said, Man United, yes, they don't win many games. They don't concede too many goals. I had, it's Liverpool. Then it was 1-1. Yeah, Sheffield United scored 3. That's what I said. Apart from one game. Oh, sorry, they've only conceded more than 2 goals once this season. That was Sheffield United. Since then and before then, not more than 2. We will be motivated to score 2 or more goals. Yeah, of course Liverpool want to score as many goals as possible. I'm just saying, it hasn't happened much this season. Is it going to happen in that game? Maybe not. Depends how much... I think if Klopp just doesn't give us any respect, which he shouldn't, could run away with it. Anyway, not talking about Liverpool versus Man United. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer last game in charge. Potentially. I mean, I was thinking about this earlier. Like, I'm never one to jump on the get rid of the manager bandwagon. And most of the time it's like, who's going to come in to replace them? But there is a bit of a difference this time. Pochettino is available if he wants to come to Man United. So would I get rid of Solskjaer? I wouldn't like it, but he's not as good as a coach as Pochettino is. Okay, poll time. Let's have a look what you guys have voted for. So, we have... is it worth taking Vardy out? 87%. No. So, hell no, don't get rid of Vardy. Is it time for Aguero? 76%. No. Have you decided double Liverpool attack or double Liverpool defence? 54% of you going double Liverpool attack. It does seem to be more popular within the community. I don't know what it'll be like overall. 29% on double Liverpool defence and 16% still undecided. Maddison, keep or sell? It's pretty much neck and neck. 51% sell, 49% keep. So very, very close. For me, I think you can make an argument to keep him for the next 2. And is Vardy to Aguero a good transfer? 74% saying no. So Aguero, for attack and returns day, people not that interested. I guess it's a long-term move. I mean, for anyone that's thinking about getting Aguero in, all I'll say from those poll results is it's very hard for a lot of people to get Aguero easily, like in one or 2 transfers. So everyone probably is a bit biased with that. But realistically, he's 11.8. You don't know if he's going to start every week. Although I've got a feeling he's going to start more games than not going forward. But yeah, not a good pick by most people's thinking. Right, quick shout out to all the patrons. If you want to check this out, links in the description below. Thanks to everyone that's supported so far. All the producers are on screen now. If you want to check it out, there's a Slack channel and stuff, which there's always conversation going around FPL. There's a link in the description below. If you sign up on the right tiers, then Slack invites go out straight away. And there's also a league which you can join every single month. So the January league is already in full effect. There'll be another one in February, March, April, and May. Obviously, the May one will be just 2 weeks. 2 weeks shootout. If you want to check out Patreon, thanks to everyone that's supported so far. And if you want to have a look, see what it's all about, there is a link in the description below. So go and have a look at that. Otherwise, I think I'm going to leave it there. Normal content out this week. There'll be another stream on Thursday. I'll try and